Well, it's morning here in Central Florida. Good morning. Of course, I have no idea what time of day you're watching this, but I hope you have a good day. I bought a Vevor water distiller so I can have some distilled water. I live here in Central Florida, and the water here locally is, I don't know how to describe it, almost undrinkable in terms of flavor. And a little bit of an odor too. So at any rate, I've been at this location, will be 5 years in June. And I have bought, Lord only knows how many water filters for my Brita pitcher. And that's how I get my drinking water. So I saw this and thought, well, even though it draws 750 watts, because it essentially boils the water and it goes through a system to cool it down enough to condense it back to water, the steam back to water. Nevertheless, if I added up what I've paid for water filters for the last 5 years, it'd probably amount to a lot more than the electricity I'm going to use to run this distiller. But at any rate, the Vevor water distiller has so far worked very well for me. Now, I've only had it a few days. My output on this particular one is about 1 quart an hour. I've never let it go untended to see how it turns off when it goes, when the water's gone. There's a reset button. I assume that this, when it gets too hot, it just kicks, the thermostat kicks off the power. That's yet to be tested. But at any rate, if it lasts a good while, then I got this on the sale. I think it cost me $80 or something like that. It's between $70 and $80. It'll be worthwhile. The other use I have for it is the way we get around here in my neighborhood is in golf carts. And in the heat we have down here in Central Florida, you have to top off the batteries, that lead acid batteries that drive the cart frequently. When you do that, you have to have distilled water. If I use tap water here, it has so much lime in it, it would kill all the sulfuric acid in the battery. So I have to use distilled water. So that's another purpose that it's hard to find distilled water in the stores. At any rate, this will maybe motivate me to check the water and top it off more frequently. But I'd like to say something about, this is a distilled water. And so the first thing I do in the morning, well, maybe the second thing I do in the morning, when I get up is have something to drink. I'm dried out from overnight. So anyway, I opened up my first bottle of distilled water and drank it, and it tasted awful. So at any rate, in starting my day, I went and brushed my teeth, and then drank some more of this water, and it was tasting fine. My point is that the filtered water, which filtered out the slightly sulfur taste in the tap water, but it doesn't filter out the lime. And I suppose the lime itself has a taste that sort of counteracted my bad breath morning. And so I never noticed that before. But now with distilled water, that is pure water, until you brush out or wash out all the bad odors that are in your mouth, you taste that when you. And there's so many analogies I could make on that. And I guess they're appropriate given the state of the world and political bad breath that we have. When we drink, when we take in information that's not distilled, and I wish there were such a thing, it colors our view, clutters our mind. So it's very, very hard to ascertain what's real and what's not. By that, I mean the events of the last couple of years, I've only seen once before in my lifetime, and that was in the Middle East during a coup. The lives that were lost, and I saw some of that up close and personal, is something I'll always remember. And when I saw the events unfold live on TV on January 6th at our own Capitol building, it was a horrible deja vu. And I'm concerned that the people in this country don't realize how serious it was. If that had succeeded, we'd be living in a dictatorship. And having been in countries where dictators were the rulers, that's really scary. My first day in the Middle East, or second day, I was there on a clandestine, I guess you'd call it, assignment there. And I was being driven around town by another member of the unit. And we came upon this car accident. And the policemen in that country in that day wore real gaudy uniforms. And of all things, this policeman was carrying an old Mauser pistol. Big old thing. And everybody involved in the accident was arguing, and nobody was paying any attention to the policeman. And then this guy walked up in black trousers and black polo shirt, and a hat with nothing but a red dot in the center of the hat. And he was carrying what looked like either a 25 caliber or 32 caliber Beretta pistol, little tiny thing like this. And when he came up on the scene, everybody got quiet and settled the argument, whatever it was, instantly. And I asked the guy that was getting me through the in processing thing. I asked him, I said, who is that guy? And he said, oh, that guy doesn't exist. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, he's secret police. And I said, well, boy, they sure reacted to him quickly. He said, yeah, he could pull out his pistol and shoot you at noon on Main Street, and you'd have died of natural causes. That's a dictatorship. So when people start equivocating on questions of whether or not they would use a military unit to take out a political opponent, God, if that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. It's very real, folks, very real. And I was a lifelong Republican. And unfortunately, the party to which I gave allegiance to has disappeared. Please forgive my political statement there, but God help us if we end up with a dictatorship. Then you'll see what a dictatorship is. Anyway, that's a sad note to end this video on. The video is about the Vevor distiller, and assuming it lasts for a few years, I would give it a 5-star. But that's the big unknown. How long is it going to last? I mean, all it does is boil water. The steam comes up through the top. There's a fan up there that's throwing it against the cooler surfaces. I mean, it doesn't take much temperature differential to condense the steam back into water. So there's not many moving parts. It's just a boiling pot with a fan. But we'll see. If it dies prematurely, I'll do a video on that for sure. Okay, have a good day. I hope I didn't bum you out. Oh, there's my wake up alarm. Oh, my garbage pickup alert. I've got an automated house so that I can turn everything on and off from wherever I'm at. All right. Thank you very much. This alarm's not going to go away until I stop it. Thank you.